Hello, my name's Artemis, and we all have our own little set of niche interests that are unique to us in their makeup, development, and combination within each other. And they give us a set of very interesting and, again, unique experiences in life and things that we notice. And sometimes they cross over with others, and sometimes they're just fucking hilarious. Hopefully, mine are a little bit of both, because that's what we're going into this week. And bear with me if this is a bit of a weird video, but you fucking asked for it when I polled you on Twitter. So yes, for those of you who aren't aware, and if you aren't aware, you clearly have not seen any of my videos, because I am not subtle. I have an interest in certain things such as feet tickling, slippers, and I am, of course, asexual. And when they all combine together, you get a very strange mix with a lot of weird shit that you notice in life. And that's basically what we're going to go through. I don't even know what the title of this video is going to be, because it's long, but here's, in no particular order, 10 things you notice when you're asexual and have an interest in feet, slippers, and tickling. God, we'll tidy that up for the actual title, I swear. Number one, there's actually 3 hurdles to get through with all of this. First of all, you have to explain to people that you are asexual. I mean, you don't have to, but if you're going to talk to them, then by and large, most of the time you have to explain it, because not everybody seems to understand that it is a concept, and a lot of them struggle to get their head around that in the first place. And then second of all, if they've taken that okay and you feel comfortable and you want to speak about it or whatever, you then have to explain your interests in the feet and the tickling and the slippers and all of that kind of thing. And that's difficult because not everybody shares that. That's obviously quite a niche thing for a lot of people, and you then have to try and explain, no, it's actually like this and not like that. And then for some reason, you've got to then explain how that doesn't negate the asexuality, because everybody just instantly assumes, like, oh, well, he likes feet, so that means he must get turned on by them. No, because believe it or not, the asexual kind of trumps everything in this department, okay? Like, it's a lack of sexual attraction, full stop, not a lack of sexual attraction unless that's something else. Number 2, people are always weirded out, because of course they are. It's not a very common thing, and in our society, feet are not regarded as being, you know, the most attractive parts of the body. As soon as you mention the word foot or feet, people tend to assume that you like all of the disgusting parts of it. It's, oh, you must like shoes, you must like smell, you must like sweat. No, I fucking hate the lot of that. Get the fuck out of here with that. Why is that an instant assumption? So you're instantly on the defensive trying to explain that to other people. You're trying to confide in them and say, oh, this is something that is actually a big part of my life and what I like, and they're suddenly sitting there going, so you like this then, you fucking pervert? You like that as well, you fucking sicko? I do not, sir. No, thank you. People also get defensive about themselves in this respect, which is very strange to me as somebody who is asexual, because I see a lot of people acting very flirty and commenting on people's bodies, and they don't tend to try and hide their body away, but the second anybody gets an inkling that you might like feet, suddenly they won't take their shoes off or something, and they're trying to look at you like, oh, you must instantly like my feet. Like, bitch, you ain't fucking special. What makes you think that you're my type? Get the fuck out of here, you ego bitch. For some reason, a lot of times when you mention tickling as well, people tend to assume that it's outward against them. And then there's the really fun part where I've got to say, no, it's actually me, please, not you, because, no, thank you. Number 3, you become a fountain of knowledge. So obviously I discovered this sort of thing when I was a teenager, and I did a lot of research into it because, I mean, I've not really ever thought about any of it beforehand. But that actually also sort of led into having a lot of information on foot care. And I know a lot of shit, I know a lot of issues and how they arise and how you can fix them. And by and large, I have kind of fulfilled the role of a guru in my life, and anybody who has issues, I'm like, well, I mean, I can help with that. I mean, I'm not saying that, yeah, let's take your shoes off, I'll help. No, I mean, I genuinely seem to know, oh, okay, that's the problem, or this is probably how it's being caused. You can fix it doing this, and it does feel quite good that I've been able to help people with issues in the past. It does also mean that my own feet are in tip-top condition. I am not even going to fucking be humble about that. I mean, hell, I've got my own page and shit for that, so if you want to see, go and have a look. But I mean, I'm proud of them, okay? A little bit of body positivity, not even going to feel ashamed of that. But shame is another issue we'll come up to in a minute. Number 4, I will judge your feet. I'm not even going to lie about it, okay? We as humans have a set of things that aesthetically we like, and we look at other people and match them up against this checklist of yes, yes, no, no, yes. Okay, everybody will check everybody out. It's just what you do. Don't fucking lie to me. You all do it, all right? Now, when most people check them out, they look from the feet up and down, and I just sort of stop there. Now, it's not as if I'm sat there leering at people, for fuck's sake. Hell, if you're happy with heteros going, oh, fucking hell, look at them tits, look at that great big arse, I want to eat that fucking booty. If you're happy with that, then you can shut the fuck up about me looking down and thinking, that's not actually a nice pair of shoes, that's not bad, they're quite cool. Ugg boots in the summer, a little bit odd, but all right. Like, it just happens. That's where the eyes go. That is what my brain is wired to. And if you think that's gross, then fuck you, because you fucking do the same, you hypocrite bitch. But it does make me realise that fucking people forget the shit out of their feet and take away all of my interest in them and just look at the fucking mechanical side of it, of you need them to get around. And it's bizarre how people will completely neglect a part of their body like that. And I cannot get my head around it, considering it's fucking easy. It takes like no time. It's so simple. Why does it have a stigma to it? But also, yes, it does mean that if you have cute feet, then I will probably compliment you on them. And I mean, I might not, because I feel gross doing it, because again, we'll come on to the shame aspect in a minute. But yeah, I notice those sorts of things. Number 5, it doesn't feel like it fits, and it just really doesn't. Hello, I am a 6'5" big guy with long hair and a beard, and I'm heavy built. I'm not slender or anything like that. I am chunky, and that does not look like the sort of person that's going to turn around and just say, hey, I really like wearing slippers like fucking everywhere. But it's even nicer when like somebody likes to play with my really soft feet that I take care of, and maybe even tickle me because I find it nice. That doesn't fucking fit, does it? All right? If you try to picture someone who's into all of these things, I imagine you picture someone who's like 5 foot, young. It's just one of those sort of, like, I feel weird liking it after my 20s. I mean, I'm at the tail end of my 20s. It doesn't feel like it fits my body, my life, my anything. And maybe that's something to do with society and the way I'm brought up and the fact that in this fucking shithole town, you got to act all masculine just to walk down the street and not get harassed. But it's a big internal struggle. Number 6, it feels childish, and it just does. Tickling is, like, by its nature, a childish thing. And if you want to go back into the actual reasons of it, like why you're ticklish, it's actually to teach you to protect sensitive areas of your body that are vulnerable. If you think about, oh, why are we ticklish under our arms? Well, it's actually one way into the organs that doesn't go through the ribcage. Like, that's a big vulnerable spot right there. So, of course, you're going to be sensitive there because you learn to protect. You learn to protect that area, and that's there you go, there's some information for you. Again, fountain of knowledge. So that's why that is, but this is all the sort of stuff that you learn in childhood, and it's weird that it continues to adulthood to some extent. And it does make me feel like, oh God, I'm not really grown up because I like this stuff, and oh God, I'm fucking 27. Like, why the fuck do I, especially with the slippers as well. Like, how the fuck do I reconcile that? Like, hey, I'm a 27-year-old man, and look at the fluffy shit I wear. And I would love to wear that in public, everywhere, if I can get away with it. How the fuck is that supposed to make me feel good in this fucking world? There is also a sense of lost time. Like, it is bizarre to me how it just never occurred to me I would like any of these things until I was about 15. And I mean, there were maybe 1 or 2 experiences I can draw back in my childhood, but literally 1 or maybe 2. Like, it was just like it wasn't there. So there feels like, where it's something that's meant so much to me, and that it really does mean a lot to my life, that there's more of my life where I've not known about it than there is where I have. And it feels like an issue of lost time there. And I wish I'd known sooner, because I could have at least taken care of things a bit better, like in the foot department, because like when I discovered all this shit, I had neglected my body. 7, this is a bit of a darker one, and that is there was a rampant problem with minors in the community, and this is why I don't interact with the community that much. It has pushed me away from all of this, and it is a reason why I really don't like being involved in a lot of this, and I have a lot of stigma in my head, and that's because not a lot of this is sexually based. It does not generally involve sexual content or anything like that. And there you enter a grey area, because kids get involved, and not willingly, I should add, and censors won't do anything about it. Now, I've just mentioned that it is a largely childish thing, and that is true, but that also means that you see it a lot in child's media, because it's a sort of non-offensive, threatening thing that you can show in a TV show or a cartoon that, you know, is kind of funny and can show like, oh, well, they're in trouble, but it's not like, hey, they're about to get knifed in the eyeball. So it's less violent, but there's a lot of fucking problems that come with that. I know that any community is going to have a subset of people who take that interest and twist it into the complete wrong way, and that you'll never escape that. For anybody who has an innocent interest, there will be people who like it in a not so innocent way. But when it means so much to you, and you see stuff like this in the news, different reports, and it has this stigma, and you have things like that fucking Nickelodeon guy coming up, it makes you feel like fucking shit that something you like in this innocent way can be taken to such an extreme like that, and that is the perception of it, and it just makes me feel sick. I actually used to be really involved in the community. That was how I got into internet communities, was through all of that, and I backed the fuck away because it's full of it, and it's nasty, and I just hate seeing it. And there's only so many times you can report something to the website and have it come back as, well, it doesn't technically break the rules, before you feel, fuck this, I'm done with it. Oh, moving on, number 8, you try to be adventurous, but you fail. This one's more based around slippers, because I mean, I make this joke a lot, but honest to God, if I could get away with it, I would never wear shoes again. Slippers everywhere, just so comfy, the best, I love it. But you can't really do that in the real world, and I'm sensible enough to know that, but that doesn't mean I haven't tried. There was this one time, there was a friend of mine's birthday, we were going into town, and I'd made some joke about, fuck it, I'll just wear my slippers out, and he was like, yeah, do it, and I was like, yeah, all right, fuck it, I'll do it. So I brought them in a bag, and it was just a mess of a night, because there was drama going on with some other guy, his family were there when they were drunk, and I wasn't drinking, because I don't drink on nights out, and I was just like, stood in this club, thinking, what the fuck am I doing? Carrying around some slippers in a bag like some fucking twat. And then his sister, who was drunk as fuck, was trying to ask me what asexual means. And then she thought it was bisexual and accused me of being greedy. And then she was suddenly realized what asexual was and was jealous of me somehow. She was fucking out of it. So there's a fun experience. There was also the time I decided, oh, you know what would make a good photo shoot? Slippers in the woods. Let's go for a little walk. And I did. Here's some fucking photos. What you don't see there is that a couple of times I sort of got interrupted by a family, and there was just like, hey, I'm stood here in tiger slippers in the middle of a fucking woods, and oh, I can hear children. Change out of them quick! I did not change out of them quick enough, but none of them seemed to say shit, and I just stood there like, well, I guess I gotta roll with this now, and look like a complete fucking idiot. So that's just one of those things. You want to be adventurous with stuff like this. You want to live your life the way you want, and then it doesn't work out the way you want it to. Number 9, I get easily shamed, and you've probably seen a lot of that in this video already, and this is actually something I feel really difficult reconciling in my head about these interests, because they do mean a lot to me. They are a big part of my life. And yet I feel guilty bringing them up to people, and I feel guilty if anybody sort of throws me a bone and wants to talk about them, because it's like it's my thing and they're just tolerating it. And as much as I can sit here and talk to this fucking glass eye without a soul in front of me, and it's fine, as much as I can tweet and it's fine, because I'm on my own when I do that, I'm isolated, I'm away from people. Friends will know that, you know, I'm not altogether fully comfortable with this. It doesn't matter how much I trust you, I'm always going to feel wrong about it. There's been times where like a friend has wanted a foot rub or something, or wanted to demonstrate something, and I physically cannot ever really make physical contact without a lot of encouragement, because it's like, no, that's my thing, and if I'm doing this because I like it, and you know, I'll give you a foot rub and I like it, you might not understand what that means to me, and that's not fair on you. Consent is such a huge deal, and I mean, that's a good thing, obviously, very good thing. Consent should always be a huge deal, but when you tie all that up with everything else, it holds me back a lot. This shame holds me back from having the things I want in life, because it makes me scared, and it makes me feel ashamed for the things I like, so I don't chase them, and that is fucking shit to deal with, especially for something so niche, something that's so rare that you see sort of everything melted together. Because I mean, you know, there's a lot of people who do like, you know, feet and tickling like that, but they all get turned on by it a lot of times, and it's very difficult not wanting to have a sexual side to it, because for some reason that's sort of attached most of the time. People will judge you for it as well. They'll judge the shit out of you for it. People might be judging me right now. They'll probably be in the comments saying, oh, you're a fucking freak. I mean, that's just the way the world works. You learn to get used to that, but sometimes it bites. Sometimes it hits home harder than you thought it ever would. And, you know, sometimes when it's people you really trust and then they use it as a weapon against you as well, it hurts, and, you know, it does take a toll. Speaking of other people. And yes, number 10, manipulation is different. This one I didn't really know where to include on the video. Shame should have probably been the last one, because it's deep, but here we are. This is the last one to mention, and that's that manipulation is a very weird thing. So I'm talking like flirting and whatnot. Sometimes when people want something, they will flirt and think that they can get it that way. But that doesn't work with me, because I'm asexual, and I usually don't even pick up that you're flirting, because I couldn't comprehend anybody wanting to flirt with me. So that's out the window. So that's kind of funny to watch when you're like, oh, I see. Right, I see what you're doing now. It's not working, is it, darling? But the interesting thing comes when people realize that they can't flirt conventionally, but they can use their feet. And they do, and they have. And, you know, I've had a friend before who I was interested in, and I didn't, you know, she was turned out to be a bit of a bitch to me. So I was trying to distance. And what was her response? Shoes and socks off was her response. That was just it. Just like, hey, I want a foot rub. And I was like, I even said to her, like, I know what you're doing. Like, that's not even subtle. And yeah, you get this sometimes. I've had a lot of people in my life who have used it as a way to talk. I mean, there's been one person who at one point was tearing me down about this interest and how disgusting it is, how they don't like it, how they can't relate, how it's gross. And then somehow they're also talking about it and comparing their foot to mine. I'm like, hey, you are not subtle, okay? You think you are. You have no experience like manipulating like this. That's a funny fucking thing to come across. People just tend to assume that the second they like take their shoes off, your head is completely misted up and you can't think straight and that is all you're focused on. I'm like, I'm not some rabid fucking animal, okay? I mean, ironic I say that right now. But yes, there you go. Those are just 10 things that I've noticed in my weird fucked up life of liking these weird fucked up combination of things. And, you know, sometimes I feel comfortable enough to talk about it. I mean, this video will probably be fun to edit because at the moment I'm like, yeah, I can talk about this fine. Then it will come out. I'm like, why did I say all of that? Because, you know, it's scary opening up a door and showing something you're vulnerable over. But I hope you found it interesting at least. I hope maybe you even related to it. If you did, show something down below, comment if it's not even same interest or whatnot, if it's just it relates to something that you've had in your life. I'd be interested to know I'm not alone on all of this. Thank you for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. And yeah, if you feel like supporting, here you go. If you feel like you like the feet, there's an account for that as well. Fuck it, plug that too. And yes, thank you for watching. This is the end of the video now. I imagine I'll be talking about this subject again at some point though anyway.